Hey,
Oh man.
everybody, it's Scotty T, and I'm here with a multi talented comedian, writer, actress, radio personality. Joe King is here. Joe King,
All of
how
the
are
things.
you?
Hello, everybody. I'm doing great, Scott. I'm doing great. It's a good day.
Yeah, I feel like a
A good
woodpecker in
day.
a lumber yard. You didn't ask me, but I feel like a woodpecker in a lumber yard. I'm a little giddy.
I don't know what that means.
Well, think about a woodpecker and then think of a lumber yard.
So you're overjoyed or overworked.
Yeah, I'm a little giddy. I'm a little giddy. Whenever I get a woman of your stature on, I'm a little giddy.
Oh, thank you, Scott.
Okay, let's start. You're in Las Vegas, I believe.
I am.
Okay, were you born and raised in Las Vegas?
I am not. I was born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. Shout out to the Countdown City,
The countdown
210.
countdown city, is that what it's called?
The Countdown City. Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's our area code, 210.
Okay. Um, when did you start doing comedy?
Oh, I like to say that I've been funny all of my life. And people have
Yeah.
always told me I needed to be in movies or things like that. But I started officially doing stand-up. May will make 3 years.
Okay. And the follow-up question, was there a catalyst? Was there something 3 years ago that said, Joe, go do it?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I don't feel
Wow.
like it's funny though.
What's that?
I said it's a really good question. I don't feel like it's funny though.
Oh no, it's
So
okay.
I lost
Nobody
my son,
watches
my
these
first
things. Nobody watches these things.
son. I lost my first son in 2014.
Okay.
And due
I'm
to
sorry.
losing him, I went through a bunch of emotional,
Yeah, right.
stuff back then. So I was trying to get myself out of it, trying to get myself out of that funk. So I kind of made myself like a list of things that I wanted to accomplish. And one of the things to gift myself was I wanted to get my favorite poet, who was Maya Angelou, to sign her poetry book that my grandmother had given me. So I
Okay.
bought the book and I bought tickets to go see Maya Angelou, and I was so excited. And it was just something to look forward to, that wasn't going to be heavy on my emotions. And 2 weeks before, this is, I think, 2019,
Oh no.
2 weeks before I was supposed to go and get it signed, Maya Angelou passed away.
I knew that was coming.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
My Angela
I just
passed away, and I had waited and was do going like she was mine that was supposed to get me
I
out of that
know.
depression,
I know.
and I couldn't help but laugh in that moment. And I realized that all the other stuff that I had written on that list I needed to do now
I'm
because other people were
sorry.
obviously weren't going to wait on me, right? Like it ain't like she was holding on, waiting to give me her signature. I was like, Joe, what made you think?
That's what you gotta die for.
Like, yeah, I was like, she had
Couldn't
stuff
you make
to
it two
do.
more
Okay,
fucking
so
weeks? Couldn't you make it 2 more weeks, bitch? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I wrote through
You're
all of
gonna
those emotions.
find
I was like, we're just
you're
12
gonna
days away.
God damn it.
So, right.
You're gonna find when we hit the end here that you and I are kind of joined at the hip. We're kind of a lot alike. It may seem
Oh, yeah.
wacky now, but we're a lot alike. Like right there, I started laughing and I knew what was coming.
She did. She left me though.
She didn't
So
know what was. She didn't want to sign that damn book.
I know. It was all because of me. I feel like I caused it.
No, no, no. Let's move on because this is
But yeah, so that's comedy was number 8 on that bucket list of things. So when I
okay.
moved to Vegas, I started.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
Well, and boy, you are kicking ass and taking names. I wrote this down because it's just amazing to me. On Instagram and on TikTok, you go as King Me Comedy. And on TikTok,
Hmm.
hold on to something, kids. You have 756,000 followers, like
I
19 million,
do.
19 million likes, I think, something like that.
I do. My cousins, my TikTok cousins, man. I
Wow.
feel like I have family all over the world. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I just had, I don't know if you saw it, I had George Wallace on, and he
Hmm.
has like 756,000 or seven on Twitter or X
Hmm.
followers. And you're like right up there. I said, "Holy moly, that's amazing."
It is.
A,
I
lo- a
love it. I
lot a lot
love
of people
the
like you.
community. Yeah.
A lot of
I like
people
to think
like
I'm
you.
likable.
Okay, well, that leads me to the question, do you like doing the skits? TikTok, Instagram stuff as much as doing stand-up comedy?
Ooh, I feel
Or
like they're two
more?
completely different muscles.
Right, right.
I feel like they're two completely different comedy muscles, but I do enjoy both. I feel like I kind of have to be in the mood to create content,
Okay.
whereas I'm always in the mood to get on stage. I am
Okay.
always in the
All
mood
right.
to get on stage.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you don't have to be so serious. You can loosen up a little bit. We're supposed to have fun.
I'm sorry, I didn't feel like I was tight.
All
I
right,
don't
I'm
know.
gonna try. Go ahead.
Most people don't know that I'm autistic. So
No,
I
no. Well,
automatically
here, I'll tell you
you
what.
know
We're gonna
that
do.
I was
No, I
autistic.
wrote down all this stuff, but I'm gonna skip ahead because here where I said you and I are a lot alike. You say that you're neurodivergent,
Mhm.
and I did not know what that means. And then I looked it up, and I said, her and I are just alike.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons, like you said earlier, that I'm likable. I think there are just certain parts of me that almost everyone can relate to. And I used to mask and people like because I wanted people to like me. So it was like I was mirroring their personality to them. I wasn't necessarily being true to myself.
Right.
And when I broke that mask and just started coming out and saying the thing, saying the weird thing, I realized everyone was thinking the weird thing. Everybody else was kind of masking too. So when I started embracing that, I realized I was a lot it was I always felt different, but I felt like I was a lot less different when I started just embracing the fact that I was different, if that
Well,
makes
and we didn't even tell them. Tell them what neurodivergent means.
well, my brain just works differently than everyone else's.
Yeah.
I am diagnosed with ADHD, which is autism with ADHD. So there are a lot
I
of
apologize. I laugh at the wrong shit. I
no,
should have.
I get it because I'm the same way.
That's
I'm
why
the
I
same
said.
way. I was just talking to my girlfriend yesterday, and we were watching some super dramatic TV show. And like within the first 5 minutes, somebody died. And I was like, damn, they get straight to it, don't they? Like they didn't want you to get attached to anybody. And it was a horrible, traumatic death,
That's
blood everywhere. And she's just like, that's
that's
what you got
me.
from that? She's like, most people would be like, oh my God. I was like, no, why do you just cap her in the first 5 minutes of the movie? Like, how much did they pay her? That's wild.
I, I
So
tell you,
yeah, man.
I like the news comes on, Joe, and I some plane crash. I'm like, those fuckers, fuck them. I
Right.
say the wrong shit. Fuckers, they deserved it, rat fuckers.
Like, ooh,
Hey,
somebody pissed off Jesus today.
yeah, no, no. I mean, I'm joking, but people say, "Man, Scotty, why did you say that shit?" Let's try and get this thing back on the track. You do have a show called Laugh Therapy. Do you
I
want to tell
do.
everybody about that?
I do. Laugh Therapy was on 702.5, but we are now launching on Power 88.1
Right.
Las Vegas. You guys can download the app if you are not in Las Vegas, but if you are currently in Las Vegas, we will relaunch that January 4th.
Okay.
And laugh therapy is exactly what it is that we just said, where we talk about serious subjects. But of course, with me and the way that my brain works, I either have a story that ties to it, I tie in some comedy. So we talk some pretty taboo subjects, and then
Do you
we
want to
never know
mention
what Joe's
mention
going to
your
say.
co-host?
Yes, my co-host is my beautiful love of my life,
Right.
Jessica or JD
That's what I
Sunshine.
thought. I thought you two were together. That's wonderful. I'm happy.
Yes,
No, I'm
thank you.
happy for you. I
Me
really
too.
am. Yeah, and so you guys do
Me
this
too.
show, and it combines laugh and kind of like I try to do.
Mm.
I try I try to pretend I'm interviewing you, and then I'll say some crazy shit.
Yep. So
Yeah.
basically, yeah, that's exactly what the show is. We talk
No,
some pretty serious
yours is a lot more
subjects and
serious because you tackle serious subjects. I try to do try to mix it. It's hard. It's hard to do.
it is. It's not the easiest job, but it's fun. I have a
Right?
lot of
Yeah.
fun talking about those types of subjects. We've
Do you
talked
want do
everything
you
from
want to talk about
sexism.
like what's coming up in January or whatever? It's up to you.
Well, in January, we will start every Saturday on Power 88.1 at 11 a.m. is when
Yeah.
our show will start. And it is now called Rhythm and Roots since we're tying music into it. So
Yeah.
we'll talk everything from meditation to new age dating and what's going on in the dating world now. With
Yeah.
everyone trying to be so conscious and so, emotionally intelligent and whatnot, and what that actually looks like today. So yeah, we talk some of those tough subjects, and then of course I am a comedian, so do not be surprised with what it is that you hear come out of my mouth. Because some of the things that you think I agree with, I do not. So,
I
yeah.
always say this, and you can use it, okay? If you want.
Okay.
I always tell people my mouth's like a magician's hat. You never know what's going to come out of it.
My brain did not go there at all. I was like, oh man, people stick all kind of things in there.
I, I'm trying to make you laugh, and I'm trying to make you laugh, and you just sit there. I feel like I'm just, hello, is this thing on? Hello, check.
Oh, you want me to be more
Saturday,
vivacious with my
Saturday.
laughter?
No, now hold on. August 9th is your birthday, and you talk about
Yes.
Leos, and I just wanted
Yes.
you to know August 17th, I'm a Leo.
Oh, party over here. We are the best. We are the best. Other signs are in denial. We are the best.
Do you know what they say about Leos?
They say we're a little arrogant. I hear that one all the time.
Narcissists. We're all narcissists.
No, I feel like narcissists believe things that aren't true. We believe we are the best, and it is factual.
You know the best thing about a narcissist?
What?
They don't talk about it. They don't talk about other people.
Right. Very true. Very true. What other people?
Yeah, right.
He has a hostess.
Trying to move this thing along. I hope we're doing okay. Are we doing
Yeah,
okay?
I'm having a great time.
All right, cool. Let's keep going. The Black
Okay.
Women in Comedy Laugh Fest is coming up in February, and I believe you're part of that.
I am. I'm super excited. This is my first time doing this one.
My goal, Joe, is to get every woman from that's going to be on the Laugh Fest on the show before it happens. Matter of fact, I'll give you another one.
Okay.
Patrice DeVoe, I believe it is going to be on tomorrow.
I don't think I'm familiar with Patrice. I'm excited to meet her. There are a few ladies that I'm unfamiliar with now that I'm really excited to meet at the festival. I haven't gotten to go through everyone's profiles and kind of see what their vibe is or anything
Yeah.
yet. So I'm really excited to do that.
Well, I've
Yeah.
supported it. I've been doing this 5 years, but I just started doing the Zoom things a couple years ago, and I've supported it. Just because number one, I love having women on the show. I'm being sincere. If I could have nothing but women on the show, I would. And then to have black women on the show, I support black women in comedy, something fierce.
Thank you. We need it.
Yeah, no, I
We
that's
need
why
it.
I'm
I
doing
get
it.
really excited whenever I see us. Whenever I see, and I know I guess that can be taboo or whatnot, but I get really excited when I walk to a comedy show and I see another black woman is in the lineup. I'm like, oh, they booked two of us. Like it's a very rare situation where I walk in and it's another one of me, man.
No, it's
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 always
true.
me and all men, or if they do put another female on there, it's like
One.
it'll be like a short, dippity, non-black
Right,
person.
yeah. No, that's true. We're gonna try this again. You did
Yes.
a post about taking a dab, and you told me
Okay.
it was a show. I couldn't believe it was a
Yes.
show.
Yes. And it was a requirement. I have never been on a show where it was a requirement for you
Red,
to
Red
not.
Man, Red Man. You said Red Man, Method Man. You said
Yes.
okay,
So Redman is a producer now. For those of
right?
y'all who are hip hop fans, Method Man and Redman. Redman is a producer now, and he produced a show that required the comedians. It was a roast show. We were supposed to be roasting each other, but
Okay,
it required us to basically bake ourselves first, and you have to take dabs first. And I've never taken a dab before, but I do
right,
smoke weed, so I thought it
right.
was going to be similar. I thought
Yeah.
like I can do this. My lungs can do this. Yeah. Definitely not the same. It is not the same experience. 0 out of 10 recommend. I hit that dab and instantly forgot who I was, where I was, why I was. And I'm usually really good at roasting. I could not think of anything. We were just staring at each other with very hot red faces for a very long time. It was
Joe,
very embarrassing.
I'm laughing the whole time because I got to be careful. I don't want to disclose too much, but I have someone very close to me, and I'm like you. I
Mm-hmm.
smoke weed for many years.
Mm-hmm.
This person has been bugging me to take a dab. Try a dab. You got to try a dab, Scotty. Try a dab.
Mm-mm. I
And
don't
I have
recommend it. I
said
don't think
no,
that
no,
person's your
no,
friend.
no dab, no dab, no dab. So someone else very close to me, her husband said, I'll try it. We were at a party
Uh-huh.
and he did it. And the next thing you know, he's out in the field somewhere and they can't find him. He's in the cornfield.
Yep.
And
Sounds
then
about right.
his wife says, let me try it. And of course I'm going, and everyone's calling me a pussy. You're a pussy. You don't want to do it. She gets up, she does it, she falls, she breaks the pipe and pisses herself.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they had to help me off the stage.
I have never done a dab, and I don't think I'm going to.
It's not a good idea. Why do you ever want to be that high that fast? I don't know why anyone wants that.
I'm good with just smoking
a regular smooth vibe of high. Yes. No. They had to like help, like almost carry me off the stage.
You do a hit, and then you do a hit a little later. This thing just knocks you in the dirt, huh?
Yes, immediately. You just forget everything. How to walk, how to talk, everything.
I had another comedian on that did some gummies, and it was he did way too many, and he couldn't function.
Oh no, you got to be careful with edibles because that gets you high very quickly. It's like a lot at one time, and yeah.
So in other words, no more dabs when you're performing.
No more.
All right, comedians that inspired you when you were younger and comedians that you like now.
Ooh. A comedian that inspired me when I was younger was Wanda Sykes.
Yeah, sure.
I absolutely loved, she was just different from the other comedians.
Yeah, Wanda Sykes is great. I love Wanda.
She was so different compared to every other female comedian that I saw. She was swaggy, but she had her own kind of swagger. She just said what she wanted to say without it being like vulgar on purpose.
Yeah,
you know?
She's just tough.
So it still had a punch.
Yeah, just tough. I love it.
It still had a punch. You understood exactly what she meant, but it also was humorous. And I pride myself on having comedy for everybody.
Right.
You know, everybody can come and everyone can have a good time. Everyone understands what it is that I'm saying. You know, everyone can kind of relate to what it is that I'm saying, even if you're not a part of my culture or whatnot. So I loved the way that she was able to connect to what I felt was everyone at that time.
Yep.
I definitely was not supposed to be watching her. I grew up in a very Christian Texan household.
Okay.
But I would sneak and watch Wanda Sykes. I would sneak and watch Monique.
Monique, okay.
Yeah. But I would say Wanda was probably one of the only women comedians that I really watched. I grew up watching a lot of Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved him and just how fearless he was on stage.
I love Bernie Mac.
Loved how fearless he was on stage.
I miss him so much.
Yes, his stage presence alone made him funny. It made you want to listen to what he was
I'll never forget watching one of his shows where he said, "I'll beat you to the white meat shows."
Yep. But
his little boy, his little son was such a little noodle head.
It became like a little tagline, right? So
yeah, I loved it.
I would probably definitely say those two for sure. I myself am a storyteller.
Right.
So I loved like the kings of comedy that really that was my era. That was my childhood.
Well, now I wrote down some more stuff here. And again, you did talk on when we were talking before about doing comedy, and you're so happy when you go to a show and there's another Black woman on the show or even another woman on the show.
Yes.
So, Wanda Sykes, that makes sense. And you remind me of her.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you have some advice for people, and I think it's great advice. Listen, then we throw hands.
Yes. Yes. I could not get with the trend. We listen and we don't judge. My face is going to tell you exactly what I think about what you just said.
Make sure I got it right. Listen, then we throw hands.
Yes. Stop playing with me.
Now, throwing hands, I think that means we're gonna get dirty.
Yeah, let's get ready to rumble, man. Because if you could have kept it a secret, you should have kept it a secret. Don't play in my face like that.
Now, is that I'm almost afraid to ask this. I have read a lot of your Facebook posts.
Oh yeah?
And you don't seem like somebody you want to play with.
I'm not. But the thing is, I'm a really kind person.
Right.
I'm naturally empathetic. I'm very loving. And most people are really drawn to that light and excited, bubbly energy. But on the complete opposite scale of things, it takes a lot to piss me off. But once you piss me off, everyone should leave. It's party over. Everybody.
It's on.
Because I'm knocking all of this over. Okay?
Yeah, no, my niece used to say, Scotty is great, but man, if you piss him off, you're going to get the business end of the poker.
Yeah. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt real bad because I'm coming for your money.
I don't have it
Not
off.
built to
It
play.
don't stop.
Yeah, coming for your
Um,
body.
do you have a favorite show that you've done so far, and then a least favorite show?
Ooh, my favorite show would probably be a featuring for Mojo Brooks at Wise Guys.
Okay.
Wise Guys in the Arts District here in Las Vegas is a
Okay.
phenomenal comedy club. I love the way that
Okay.
they treat the comics. But it was a sold out show. It was
Right.
sold out the entire weekend. So it was one of the largest shows that I had done at that time.
Okay.
And everyone's energy was so on par with mine. Like as soon as I got up there, usually I have to
Yeah.
raise the energy of the crowd. I have to get them to my vibe. That crowd was already ready to rock
Already
with me.
there.
We
Okay.
sang, we laughed, we danced. It was so much fun. So I'd probably say that was one of my favorites, even though I've opened up for some pretty big names.
You can go ahead and
That
name a
the
couple.
audience
Go ahead,
may
name
not.
a couple for me. Go ahead and name a couple of the people you've opened up for.
Who else have I worked with? I've worked with Gina Brion from New
Okay.
York. Lunel. I have
Okay.
worked with
Lunel.
Michael Blackson. I have
Okay.
worked with Dulce Sloan
Okay.
from The Morning Show,
Yeah.
or Good Morning America. What is she on? She's on that show with Trevor Noah.
Okay. Right.
I have worked,
Daily
yeah, I've
Show.
worked
Used to be the
with
Daily Show, right?
The Daily Show. That's what it was.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, my main club here is the Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I get to what's his name? Lawson. His name's not Peter. Oh, what is his name? Oh, now I'm
All
so bad.
right.
I can't remember
I'll
his name.
try. I'll try.
Preacher Lawson.
Okay. Yeah.
Ron
And
G. So I've gotten to work with some up and coming names.
cool.
Ali Sadiq. I've gotten to
Yeah.
work with some really great names. So yeah, like
Okay.
yeah.
Now let's get to the least favorite show where things maybe didn't go so good.
Ooh.
You know, we established last time I'm an idiot, so
Ooh. I would probably say my least favorite show had nothing to do with the audience or anything like that. They were
Right.
great.
right.
I got flown out to Dallas. I'm from Texas, but not from Dallas. I got flown out to Dallas, and basically the booker was really sketchy with pay, and she didn't know how to properly put the lineup together. So at the time, I was already doing comedy professionally, like full time.
Right.
And usually, when you're coming up, you get a lot of opener, a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. So she booked a bunch of openers and then me, and didn't know where to place me. So it made it really hard for them to follow me as new and up and coming comedians. And it kind of threw the entire energy of the show off. And then I was still new to comedy at the time as well. So I didn't know how to balance. There is this feeling that comedians get at the end of a show when the crowd comes up to you and they're taking pictures with you and they just absolutely love that energy.
Right.
And it can be a little awkward as a comedian when the entire crowd is basically saying like you were the only one worth coming to see, like blah blah blah, in front of the other comedians. So it was very awkward.
Yeah.
Because the entire crowd was like, "Oh my God," when it came to me and like basically like shat on
Thank
the other
God
comedians.
you were
and I was
here.
like trying to be like pro girl, pro woman. Like they were funny too, but like
Yeah, not at
it
the
was
level.
a vast difference in the skill
Right.
set of the show. And then I did all of that just for the producer to not be able to actually cover my fee afterwards.
Oh man.
So yeah,
Wait,
did
wait,
all of
wait.
that, and the producer
they didn't
could not
pay.
afford the fee that we had agreed to.
They didn't pay. Oh man. Yikes. Yikes. Whew. Yeah, that's what
Yeah, your
you know,
sound
and
went out.
I
Let me
can
make
equate
sure.
to
you
where
hear
I
me?
have people on this show. I just did one earlier this week where I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking.
man.
He just was terrible. He spent 10 minutes talking about getting out of college and how he was homeless in his car. And I thought, there is no comedy here. Buddy, we got to do something. We got to do something. Well, I don't want to keep you much longer. I wrote down, and if you want to tell the people, you got the radio show now. It changed names, and it's debuted last Saturday, right?
It has. You can download the KCEP app right now.
Okay.
And my radio show comes on every other Saturday. So first and third Saturdays, it's called Rhythm and Roots.
Right.
And we talk everything. Of course, you're going to get your laughs because it includes me.
Right.
But we talk about like taboo subjects, relationships, co-parenting, sexism,
Yeah.
all of the things, and we just make it funny.
And you involve music too, because I know you love music.
I do love music. You know, I am
I've
a night
actually heard
owl,
you
early.
sing. Do you want to sing a little, do a little Whitney for him?
A little Whitney. Ooh,
Well, do whatever you want to do.
Whitney.
You don't have to. It's up to you. I know it's early there.
It is. I usually just do the note. And I will you
Oh
gotta,
man.
yeah, you gotta hit the buttery hoo.
Yeah. Wow.
I love me some Whitney, man.
No, and you know what? And every time I hear that, my mother used to cry, God rest her soul. And
She
and you know
power
it's
me.
really funny. Again, maybe not funny, but I worked that record. I was responsible for 20 weeks, or what was it, 14 weeks at number one. And then we had Boys to Men followed up with End of the Road.
I love them too.
And I'll never forget, my grandfather was in the hospital, and I went with Bodyguard CDs and got the nurses take care of him, Yeah, because the Bodyguard was so huge at that time.
Mhm. That's the
Yeah, that
one group
was,
people always ask when it comes to 90s R&B groups, which group would you bring back or which group would you like still listen to today? And Boys to Men is always my first. I know
yeah,
people love Jodeci. I loved Silk. I loved all of them. But Boys to Men had what I call booty clenching songs.
yeah. End of the
When you
road.
hit those
Well,
notes, you got to pinch other parts of your body.
and not toot my own horn, but you don't know, or you maybe now you do. I was in the music business, and I was the singles coordinator for BMG in DC,
Oh,
and we had
wow.
14 weeks at number one with Whitney, and then we broke it again with that was broke the record, and then we did it again with Boys. In other words, I had 28 weeks at number one at
Okay.
singles coordinator. I owned half the year. I think it might have been 16 weeks. It was like 32 weeks. I think we had number one.
But
Hey, yeah, that was good. That was good. Life was good.
yeah,
Two more things, and then we'll get to your comedy minute. I think you love crab legs.
I do love crab legs. You don't have to think. Know that with all your heart, okay? Know that with your heart, body, mind, and soul.
is
Okay?
and the reason I ask is it all kind like Alaskan king crab legs, snow crab legs, all kinds of crab legs?
Mhm. All the crab legs. I love all the crab legs. Yes.
What, crab meat in general?
Yes. I love I love seafood, period. But
Yeah,
yes, I
me
love
too.
crab
Yeah,
legs.
my one of my favorite things, Joe, is my parents used to have a place in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, and we would throw the crab pots in. You'd put some nasty ass chicken in there, and you'd come back. We'd go out to a club. We'd come back, and there'd be a batch of crabs in there, and we would cook up fresh crabs. Oh my, oh my!
The whole time
Have you ever
I
had fresh crabs like that?
have that.
Have you ever had steamed crabs like fresh from the bay?
I have. I had blue crab. It was
Right?
steamed. We were was it in Maryland? We were either in DC or Maryland.
Probably.
It was a really big deal to have
Yeah,
blue steamed crab back then, and it was so good.
yeah. I'll
Oh,
never
it was
forget
so
it.
good. It was
And
so
one other thing was, I think somebody wanted red beans and rice. Did you ever get to making that?
I did. I did. So red beans and rice is one of my specialties in my family. So they request it all the time. That and my buffalo chicken dip, even though everybody can make that. But my red beans and rice, they really love. And
The
sometimes,
specialty that you cook.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can tell I'm a big boy. I love to eat.
Yeah, I have to make you some one of these days, man.
Hey, we'll
Remember,
get together. I'll get some crabs. We'll get some crab legs. Hey, just so you know, full disclosure, I'm the kind of guy that I'll go to the store and I'll just buy a pound of crab meat
oh,
and I'll
wow.
just eat it.
Yeah,
Not
I've
the whole
never
thing in
heard
one
that.
sitting.
I
Not
probably need to do that.
Hey, I don't have time to be picking the crab legs. I just get the damn crab meat and just sit there and eat.
Having some crackers, man. Oh my goodness, that sounds so good today.
Oh, you're the best. Well, if there's anything else you want to mention, do it. And then we'll do your comedy minute and I'll let you get going.
Okay, well, I already mentioned the radio show,
Right?
so definitely hit that up. Rhythm and Roots on KCEP Power 88.1, the People Station.
Listen to that
Every
radio
other
voice.
Saturday. Also, make sure to follow me, guys. It's King Me Comedy on all social media platforms,
Right.
kingmecomedy.com. It's easy to find. I know they're talking about getting rid of TikTok soon. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram and everything else.
I'm going to put all the links to everything, your Facebook, your Instagram. I don't know if you have YouTube. I think you do. Do you have a YouTube channel?
King Me
Um,
Comedy.
I'm going to put them all there so everyone can, after watches this interview, they can check you out.
Yes, come check
And
me
I
out.
think we made a pact because this is for people that don't know. We recorded part of it. We had some problems. This is the second part. I'm putting it together, and we made a pact that you're going to come back and see me after the Black Women in Comedy Laugh Fest.
Absolutely. Y'all can come and check
Wonderful.
it out as well. Come to the Black Women in Comedy Fest.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so much.
That's and again, I'm so blessed that I've had Patrice on, and I've had more and more women coming. So that's wonderful.
Yes, I love
Okay. Well, let's do it. Let's. I'll do a formal introduction, and you can knock them dead. Joe King, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
Ooh, I wish I would have prepared. Okay. So I always forget to tell people that I am, well, I don't forget to tell people, but I forget to tell people that I am autistic. And because I am autistic, I have something called echolei, which means that I mimic people's voices. So I'm really good with accents, but I don't realize I'm good at it because I don't realize that I am taking on your
Okay.
talking to you.
Right.
And recently, at the end of a show, a young lady with a really thick accent came up to tell me how much she loved my show. She loved me, like she's been following me for a
Right.
while. And I didn't realize I was picking up her accent. So I'm talking to her the way that she's talking to me. And I couldn't pick up where her accent was from, but it was really, really thick. Come to turn out, it wasn't an accent. The young lady was deaf.
Oh no.
And I was
No. I
yes. So I was talking to her while holding my breath, thinking that I was mimicking her accent. So I was talking to her like this and didn't. It was so embarrassing, Scott. It was so embarrassing because it's my way of trying to make people feel comfortable. Like, oh, I have your accent from where you're from. It wasn't an accent.
That's a great comedy minute. I had a girl on here one time, Joe, that she worked as a bartender. And she started saying to this guy, "Hey, your favorite song's coming on. Your favorite song's on." And the guy said, "He's deaf."
See, those moments stick with you, man. I was like,
Yeah.
I feel so bad. And she
Yeah.
had a in and she just kind of took it out and told me, like, I'm deaf. That's why I talk. I was like,
Oh my gosh. Oh, Joe King, I think you're wonderful.
thank you so
I
much.
really do. And I thank you so much for giving me some of your time and making me laugh. And I look forward to catching back up with you after the Laugh Fest, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Scott. This
It
has
was
been
my pleasure. It was my pleasure. You're a wonderful young lady, and I wish you nothing but the best.